Hello, willkommen to update Winged Lions on War Thunder with, probably the biggest thing being the introduction of, the Israeli tech tree, which is what we are actually going to be looking at today in today's episode of Stock Mid Spaded. I'm your host, Daskwai Panzer, and today we are going to be looking at the S-199. And of course, if you're looking at this like that looks familiar, that's because it's a BF-109 with modifications. It took me a little while to figure out which 109 this is based off of. And that's just because it's not an exact 109 from what I understand. The S-199 is based off of the 109G airframe, the predecessor to the 199, which is the S-99, which from all accounts from what I read was just a trainer, was based off the G12. So, I guess that would probably be the closest assumption. Is this is probably this might be the G12 airframe model, but I didn't see anything that specifically called out the S-199 being the G12. All I read was it was based off of the G airframe. This of course is pretty famous for being Israel's first fighter, and was used during the 1948 Arab-Israel War, or Israeli, sorry. This aircraft was also known as the Sakeen, which is, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't speak Hebrew. I do have a friend who does, but they're asleep right now, and I don't want to bother them for pronunciation. So, hopefully I'm correct. But that means knife in Hebrew, but it was more often called Messerschmitt, which makes sense. Or Messer, which is also knife, but in German and Yiddish. This thing currently is packing 13mm MG131s, and two of those, and two 7.92 MG17 machine guns. Not like a decent armament. I think this thing is a rather low BR though for a G series. I think the lowest G series for Germany is the G2 at, I want to say 4.7. 4.3. That's the lowest. So this is a whole entire BR lower than the lowest G model. But I think it's probably because of the armament. Yeah. This was also a very unpopular aircraft from what I read amongst the pilots. Of course, we're flying here completely spaded for the first round. I think probably the most important things will probably be getting the 20mm cannon, which should hopefully increase our capability. I do absolutely love 109s, or at least the earlier ones. I'm not too big of a fan of the later ones, which is interesting. Which will leave this in an interesting point because this is technically a later 109 airframe, but at a lower BR. So I have no idea how I'm going to feel about this aircraft. But yeah, this thing, see, the Junkers Jumo, I don't know how I just butchered that. Junkers Jumo 211F engine. His next power is 999 horsepower, with takeoff at 1,198 horsepower, and a mass of 720 kilograms. At max speed is 561 at a height of 6,000 meters. The max altitude is 9,000 meters. I don't think we're reaching that. A turn time of 23.3 seconds. Not bad. A slight bit worse than the Spitfires, I want to say. I believe the Spitfire and the Zero are... I believe the Zero is 19. I believe the Spitfire is 2? Or not 2, 20. It's also... Oh. Sorry, I am completely off my marbles. The turn time of the Spitfire is 15 seconds. Never mind. Don't... Just scratch what I just said. It's still a pretty decent turn time. Not bad. We're at a climb at 7.6 meters per second, with a takeoff run of 350 meters. As I said, I have no idea how I'm going to feel about this aircraft. We also have the two decals. We got this one, which I just got, and then we got the Spookston, because his affiliate link, which, by the way, was a journey to try to find. Because I'm used to people putting it in the description. No, he was putting it in the comment section on only some of his videos that I thought were around when his affiliate link came out. But eventually found it and used that to get this, which unlocked me here. I don't know how I feel about that purchase, though, as I knew this was going to be the case with Israel. A lot of it is copy pasta. I think this is probably the most unique thing. These two, which are based off the Mirage, these look interesting, but they're top tier. I think majority of the difference between these vehicles is their armaments, which, from what I understand, is what most of the differences is in real life with a lot of the vehicles as well. Israel, I think, has a bit more of a tendency of changing the armaments. But even then, with things like this, the missiles are equivalent. Literally just basically the same. Just maybe they're, I'm going to assume, not homegrown. Well, I mean, homegrown could be a way to say it, but I'm trying to think of what the term is. It was a huge problem when Japan was about to get JDAMs, and then it's like they have their own... I can't remember the word. Sorry, if you can remember the word, do feel free to type in the comment, because I'm just coming up blank. But anyway, let's just stop pondering around, and let's get into the first game for me in the S-199. Ugh. I'm a bit terrified. Alright, and here we are loading in. We have Golan Heights, which I believe is a new map. I believe this is a segment of the Israel map. So rather fitting for our first game. Let me change that to 20 minutes. I always choose 20 minutes. That's my lucky number. And we get an air spawn. Cool. I'm going to assume I'm probably the only Israeli here. It looks to be that way unless this guy happens to have one, but I don't believe they will. I think I just saw their... Yeah. So... That is cool. That is something I have not seen before. You can now see what people have in their lineup. Can I see what I have in mine? Yeah, okay, that is cool. Pretty decent roll weight. Not the worst, not the best. It's no Focke-Wulf. We are already at bomber height. Wow, yeah, I would not want to be a bomber on this map then. And we already have an enemy who crashed or something. And of course, I don't have... Oh, hey, look, there's me over there. Which means this is mixed. Did I just choose arcade mode? This is arcade. I'm an idiot. We'll be right back once we actually get into a real match. Alright, sorry about that. I think I'm going to keep that in just because it's kind of funny. Just how much of an idiot I was to not notice that I chose Air Arcade. I noticed it like right before I said something. I'm like, wait a minute, an F-82? That's almost jet age. Now we should be definitely at our correct BR. And hey, look at that. We have another one with us. We got to take off flaps. Yeah, okay. This feels a little bit more like it. And I was wondering why I was seeing people's BRs. So I'm going to play this how I recall playing 109s, which is climb and strike from above. Also, this is weird doing a stock mid spaded on a plane. I had the idea to, but I wasn't sure if it was something I was going to be able to do. I definitely don't know how I'm going to do the thumbnail. I think I'm probably only going to do one picture and not the whole entire thing that I did with tanks. Of course, we got a long flight ahead of us. What map is this? Ladoga. But yeah. I think, honestly, with Israel, I think the thing I'm more excited with is... oh yeah, this is definitely a 109 engine. I think the thing I'm most excited about is the tanks. I feel like the tanks are going to be a lot better than the planes because they actually have a lot more unique tanks. I'm also quite surprised to not see mosquitoes in the tech tree. Because I know Israel did a lot of messing around with mosquitoes, if I recall correctly. I might be wrong, and if I am, you can correct me, but I thought I remember there being a lot of mosquitoes that were edited and whatnot. Yeah. Anyway, I did leave the match. I didn't play that match just because, well, then this wouldn't be the first match, and arcade doesn't give much anyways. And I probably won't be of any use to that team anyways, even if I did play, so... Now I'm interested to see the fact that both of the S-119s are not climbing. I always thought it was just the rule with the 109 is you climb. Especially the later 109s, but... Yeah, we're about halfway across the map now. We have an SU-6 off to our 11 o'clock Focke-Wulf and a PE-3 down there. Diesel case. I-185, that I'm a little bit scared of. BT, no, that's an ITP. Can be a bit scary, and a Yak-9. I don't want to turn in. I want to continue climbing, because, yeah, I'm going to activate WEP again. Oh, this is a gas guzzler. I feel like that fuel is lower than what it normally would be with a different aircraft. Yeah, we're going to continue side climbing over here and try to get above all of these, because I don't want to be turn fighting with them, I don't believe. Luckily, they're all kind of... Whoa! Howdy there, partner. Man, you got good aim. Luckily, they're kind of diving for some strange reason. I don't know why they are doing that. Ah, that's a bus. Look at that bus turn. Now I'm going to trade in a little bit more for speed, acceleration over height increase. Just because everyone seems to be diving. I think currently the biggest threat is that Yak-9. We have a B-18 right below us. I got something on my mouse pad, which is annoying me right now. I would rather not join that furball. That Yak-9, that LA-5 is scary. Come on, Spitfire. I mean, you shouldn't be head-oning, but that LA-5 doesn't seem to know how to play his aircraft either. Granted, I have no idea how to play an LA-5, to be honest. I'm going to slot in on that Yak. Use our WEP just to increase our altitude by a bit. Yep, the Yak-9 has spotted me. Go in for a dive. No, I think he's just playing evasive. That is a scary Yak. I'm not gonna even think about turning with that. I hear another aircraft. Okay. I'm pulling away from the yak, which is good. Is that I'm not even gonna think about turn fighting with that yak. The Spitfire is coming in with bristling speed. If the yak is smart, he'll notice the Spitfire and will pull off of me. And that's when I'm gonna turn in.
The enemy is winning. We've got to counterattack.
Use our flaps to increase our turn rate. And let's go back on that Yak 9, because that Yak 9 needs to go. This next seed was, what, 600 and something, if I recall? Spitfire's not exactly making things easier for me. And there goes the Yak 9. Which leaves one person left somewhere. I'm going to go for some ground targets just because I haven't gotten anyone. And I would like some experience. Oh yeah, that's right. These are all machine guns. There's no large caliber yet. That's just a machine gunner. That AA is about to be gone. That's a machine gunner.
Attention to the map.
Torek was the PE3, wasn't he? Which would mean he's a rather easy target.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
My water's overheating a little bit. What are these? SPGs. Well, what SPGs are these? I'm trying to see. Oh, Nashorns. Right? I believe those are Nashorns. Ah, there he is. And our water immediately started to overheat. These two should have him, but we'll fly over there just in case. But these two have... Oh! There's a second. There's another. But yeah, these two should be fine. Oh yeah, look, he's on fire. Nice and toasty. But we did see the SU-6. Now, I'm going to assume that's their airfield. Yes. Oh. The SU-6 wasn't returning to his airfield. Hey, he's on fire. I'm not gonna steal the kill. I'll stay on him just in case, but I won't steal that kill. Yeah, there we go. Oh, we'll put on our smoke. I need to change my smoke colors. Oh, didn't do much. It was on the bottom of the playlist, but... New plane. I have no experience in this.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
We'll get a few more ground targets in. That's an artillery. What is taking it such a long time? This water overheats quick at low altitude.
We're ahead of the enemy.
There we go. That took a while. That should not be that long. That cooldown until tickets start bleeding, that should not be that long. That is ridiculously long. I can see what people were talking about and complaining about, because, yeah, I can definitely see how someone can easily use that to camp the airfield. But that's the stock game. Ooh, we did get new belts. I have no idea how the... Okay, they lost, but, like, I would have done anything. I think, honestly, airframes might need to be done. I'm gonna need some air. Oh, wow, that's pretty fast. Okay, I don't see this taking all too long until I'm mid. Forgot to count how many. But I'll do that off screen. I will see you in a second with a halfway researched plane. Well, no, not halfway researched, halfway modified plane. I'm recording. Don't do it. No, stop.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, don't. You're doing my job for me.
Make sure to hit that little bell. That way you can get notified.
Oh, that sounded weird.
What?
On the microphone, my bell.
Ding.
That sounded weird. Oh, somebody's already shooting, I'm afraid.
Make sure to punch your screen as hard as you can so that way you know that you're subscribed and that you click the bell at the same time. Ah, coil overheated. This is a hot one.
Yeah, this thing overheats like nobody's business.
What? We lost a Spitfire?
Ah, no.
Oh, we're doomed. Game over. That guy was gonna carry us.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely not carrying this team.
Good job. Is that a helicopter? No, that's a battle axe.
Yeah, those are axes.
Who are we facing? The Jerrys and the Russians and the Chinese.
What are those P-40s doing? Aerobatic show?
Oh. I think that would be fun to put on an aerobatic show in War Thunder.
Oh, it would be fun. I think that would be an awesome thing to do. Just don't have a community to organize one.
Well, there's that one custom server. I haven't checked it out, but it says, you know, training for aerobatic teams.
Oh. Can
It'd be really fun to try and fly.
Can I go in an S-199?
Sure.
Try to do all the turns and stuff?
Oh yeah, speaking of which, the Blue Angels are retiring their F-111s for F-4 Phantoms.
About time.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. When did the F-111 come out?
Ages ago.
I mean, granted, they don't use the F-111 really much anymore. They use, I think, what is it they usually use nowadays? It's the F-16?
Yes.
That's usually what they use for the shows?
I think I'm gonna be turning in.
Roger that.
Maybe.
I'm following. How are you? You still have more performance than me.
I don't know.
Did you research the radiator?
Yes.
Ah!
Except for the radiator didn't have that much in terms of stats, so I think it's the fuselage or wing repair or something.
Well, I'm currently researching wing repair, I believe. So it could be that, yeah. My boy is just a huge drag machine. This thing, I was excited for this plane. I'm like, ooh, interesting plane. I mean, this is still, I probably would have to say, the most exciting thing about the Israeli tech tree for me, because it's unique. But
CW21, is that LA5 turning into me? I think he is.
no, he's going for the J22.
Oh, can I turn into him? Oh, hits. No, that's all I did.
Oh, watch out! You got the copyright.
The Luftwaffe on me. Oh, come on. Roll over, roll over. Why won't you roll?
Flap, flap, flaps. I think I'm dead here. You guys have got to... Ow! No, leave me alone, you Chinese plane. That should be in the American tech tree because you're American.
Oh, gosh.
I need help.
Come on, roll. I'm dead.
Oh, gosh. And I love how balanced that thing is. Why is that thing still at this BR? That thing should not be at this BR. That thing's ridiculous at this BR. Alright. Now I'm on my own. Which sucks. And now I'm basically spaded. I haven't fully spaded it yet, but for all intents and purposes, I'm spaded because the things that I don't have researched yet are things I just don't have without them. So that would be the bomb, which I wouldn't use, and the MG 7s, which, I mean, I have cannons. I'd much rather use the cannons. So for all intents and purposes, I am spaded. Got the new modifications for the cannons and the machine guns and the engines and all that. It's just the things that are not physically on the aircraft are the things that are not spaded or researched, and really there's no use. I'm done with this aircraft, and I'll explain that once this match is over. I'm done with this aircraft. But anyways, so we are on Corsoon, whatever. There's our engine overheating, as it always does. I'm personally not really going to be climbing all too high. I don't think it's really worth my time. I have no idea how fast this game's going to last. Probably not that long. But I'm just... So we got LA5, BF-109, and P-47 near our altitude. All of which will destroy me. And there's also an ITP and a P-63. Yeah, all those can absolutely destroy me. Especially with them all grouped up like that. Yeah, I have no interest in going over there. More ITPs. So many ITPs. Why do people play those in their RB? A P-61 has been shot down. Basically, if one of them pulls away, that's who I'll be going for, but it doesn't seem like any of them are. And I really would much rather not deal with that furball. Flying over AA right now. What are these over here? IL-2s at 14,000 kilometers. Sorry, 14 kilometers. I'm going to try not to go for, AI targets, even though that's really been what I've been mostly doing with this aircraft. Because BV-238 has gone down. It looks like the P-63 is going after the Spitfire. I'm sorry, that P-63 is going for the AI targets. Go ahead. Be my guest. That Spitfire has seemed to grab the attention of that whole entire firewall, which is interesting. We're going to go try to help our Spitfire then. Oh, there's another 109 that just joined in. Ow. This stupid AI is too strong. The AI. Alright, so now we are fastly approaching to go help the Spitfire. LA5 seems to be my top priority since he's the highest up. He's also the slowest, to be honest, so if I could actually hit my shots, there we go. One's down. And now we have the P-63 to go after. And the Spitfire, hopefully, I think he's baiting. I don't know what that P-63 was doing. And now we have the ITP. I'm just gonna shoot a couple of guns towards him, and okay, he's not on me. I use my flaps to turn around. Come on, I gotta retract the flaps. I gotta be careful not to hit the ITP. I mean the Spitfire. I want to hit the ITP. Oh, and the 109 is on me. So I'm gonna bait. Come on. I'm not doing super well. Ah. I was hoping the friendly S-199 would have gotten him, but did not seem that he was able to. And there he goes. Now we got the ITP to worry about, which I think he's on me. No, he's on the friendly S-199 that she just took out. And now he's on fire. Hopefully our teammates will be able to take him out if my fire does not. But my fire does seem to be doing a lot of damage. And there he goes. 4 kills, not bad. But I am massively damaged. There's one person left. Probably in a bomber, if anything. So, but I massively need to return to an airfield. And of course, the nearest airfield is about 11 kilometers away. So, yeah. I think we are all heading back to the base. We are all not doing so well. Should have no idea where the last two. I didn't even notice the guy down here. Yeah, this guy's definitely a bomber. This guy, who knows? I have no idea what he's doing. Got a little wing waggle. No, I wouldn't. Oh, I'm playing it risky. I think we are all heading back to base. I think the XP-50 is taking off though, which is, thank goodness. Yeah, this was a bit of a journey back to base. And sadly, our Spitfire has died to the ITP. I'm gonna see if I can order. I think I'm gonna go in for. Oh, my engine might not make it. I'm gonna try to go in for a belly land. I don't think I have enough time to really strategically land. I got asymmetric flaps. Don't break. Oh, that was not a pleasant. Gotta be careful with these brakes. These are very strong brakes. That's a very high up ITP. And that's what I was talking about. Very strong brakes. But yeah, that ITP, is very high up there. I don't exactly think that's going to be something I'm going to be very well capable of going to. He seems to be coming towards us as well, which is scary. And I think we're ready to go.
Guide on me.
Roger that.
We have, of course, a sick formation. But we desperately need to go for that ITP. Oh, wait, I think that ITP's on fire. Oh, that ITP's burning. Oh, well, that is some very foul language. And there we go. There's the last guy. And my oil's already overheating. I'm going to fly towards the enemy that I saw. There he is, Heinkel 111. Hopefully be pretty easy prey, as their guns are not the greatest.
We're winning.
I don't know who's going to get there first, me or the XP50. I think it might be me, but you never know. XP50 is American. And we are very quickly closing in on the Heinkel 111. Lucky Rainbow, it's time for you to run out of luck. And there he goes.
Commencing attack.
And surprisingly, I got an ace, which is a huge shocker for me. With this aircraft, I'm actually rather shocked. I'm gonna let them get, those. I don't really care about, getting all that. I mean, I got an ace. An ace is an ace. I don't need, what's it called, the final strike. So yeah, I'll let those two have fun down there. Just fly around with my holiday color for the holiday season that it is right now. Hopefully this video will not be the only video before Christmas, but if it is, just in case, happy holidays. I hope you have fun with your family. Granted, this sounds like an outro. I'm not ready to do an outro. We have a segment after this. I will have to say, I definitely made the right choice not going for those AI targets. Did I say targets, right? And there we go. Now the ticket bleed's happening. I got, of course, the Survivor Medal as well, which is always awesome. Alright. And here I'll show you what I mean by the fact I'm not spaded. I should definitely be spaded by now. 5 kills, that should be a whole ton of RP. Especially if we're 3.3. And I was second. Oh, nice. I got Tester. I don't think I need that. We also got the B-17, which is lovely. I don't know. I don't recall that person. I don't know. But let me show you what I mean by the S-199 was not complete. I'm going to order this. And then I think I want to research this because that's, I think, probably the thing I'm most interested in. That's what I'm talking about. Didn't have the bombs and these, which I don't have on the plane already. So now I'm technically fully spaded, but by all means, I was fully spaded in that previous game. Because these were the only 3 things I didn't have. And 50 kilogram bombs are not big enough to even warrant carrying. Yeah, I'll meet you in the analysis area. Alright, so I'm glad to no longer have to play this plane. I honestly am. Which sucks, because this was probably the plane I was most excited for when I was hearing about the Israel tech tree, because it is the most unique aircraft in the Israeli tech tree at the moment. You got the Kasher and the other one, or the Kafir, whatever the heck it is, but I know those are somewhat unique as well, but this was the most exciting one. In 2 parts. One, as I said, it's the most unique, but 2, because it's based off of a 109 chassis, and I like 109s. I really do. They are some of my favorite aircraft in game and in real life. They are a ton of fun, but not this one. I gotta be completely honest, not this one. I am glad to be done with this, and to be honest, I don't think I'm touching this thing again for a very long time. And I feel very bad for I feel bad for all the people who are going to be grinding out the Israeli tech tree with this as their first aircraft, and like not the Spitfire or the A4E. And I completely also understand why you don't get those. Like, they're, well, a Spitfire and an A4E. You can play Britain or America for those, but just this aircraft has been one of the it's a frustrating aircraft to spade out. It is a frustrating aircraft to research the modifications for and all that. It is not fun. Also, though, I will note, and I can't remember exactly what brought me up. It was, oh, that's right, the engine. The engine's probably the biggest problem with this plane. And I wanted to look up the engine, and so I did a little bit of research, granted. I will admit that. A little bit of research. And off of the research that I found, it suggests that the engine's incorrect. I didn't search up which engine this plane had. I searched up the engine that's in-game. And the engine in-game does not match up with the numbers I found. Granted, Gaijin, I would hope they're still doing research with how they've been treating the game recently. Who knows, but in game, with a fully maxed out engine, you reach up to 1120 horsepower overall, according to my sources, which, I mean, granted, is Wikipedia, so as I said, not the best, but according to Wikipedia, the engine is its horsepower should be 1322, which seems rather far off from what we have in game. As I said, though, I will admit, Wikipedia, not exactly a trusted source. It's decently trustworthy for a quick search up, but it's not, a scholar's choice of research. But I hope that it's just I'm wrong, but it's just something I wanted to bring up just in case. Because, yeah, I did find that interesting. Because that's basically equivalent to the earlier version of this engine. But let me go to some of the characteristics of this plane. It's sluggish. I guess that can probably come from the fact that it's a later 109. I haven't really played the later 109s, like the late Gs and stuff. And so I don't really know how they play. I've heard those are sluggish as well. but at least they have a good engine. Or a decent enough engine to support it. But this thing is sluggish. Very rarely will you really be able to turn anything. But along with the sluggishness, you're also rather slow, I feel. I don't think I've ever outrun a single plane in my whole entire time spading this aircraft. I don't think I outrun a single plane. Except for maybe a bomber. So I really don't know what to say about this aircraft. I don't know. It's sluggish and slow. You can't outturn things. You can't outrun things either. And add that in with just the constant overheating that you will do if you're using WEP. Which, let's be honest, most War Thunder players use WEP while they're flying. Like, this thing overheats insanely quickly. But also, though, with the fact that it's slow and sluggish, I don't really see a way for it to be down tiered any further than it already is. Because it's a late 109. I don't see Gaijin putting a late 109 at 3.0 even. It was interesting to see that they put a late 109 at 3.3, but thank goodness they did. But like definitely at 2.7, this thing I definitely think that 2.7 this thing would be too fast for the enemy aircraft. So that's just things to keep in mind of when if you're going to go through the Israeli tech tree when it comes out. This thing, as I said, I feel sorry that you have to start grinding with this thing. I would honestly just suggest you get something that you would enjoy. So if you're like a bomber person, get the, I almost called it the B-29, the B-17. If you're a fighter, get the Spitfire or the P-51. Depending on which playstyle you'd much rather have. Anything, just try to get out of this aircraft as fast as you can. Or at least that's what I would suggest. If you enjoy this aircraft when you get to play it, well, congratulations, as I have no idea how. Even, like, the last match, the Spaded match, I was surprised I got an ace. I have no idea how I pulled that off. Especially since, like, I've really only... I don't play planes much. And I really only just started getting aces in aircraft that I enjoy. I think the first aircraft I got an ace in was the Zero, which is one of my favorite aircraft in the game. I absolutely love playing the Zero. Specifically the A6, M3, and the M5. I don't like the M2. Which, I don't exactly understand why. Yeah, just be aware it's slow and sluggish. Unless they lower the BR, which I have no idea. Also, another thing to keep in mind, currently at the moment, the damage output of the gun seems to be rather inconsistent. Sometimes I will absolutely shred an aircraft, like I was in the Ace, in like the last game. But sometimes it will do no damage. It would seem like you're doing nothing. I'm excited. I'm honestly excited to just get rid of it. And it's funny because I can't really even like do I suggest this aircraft? Like personally, I would say no if it was something you had to research. But you know, this is what you start off with. This aircraft is what you start off with, and so you kind of have to play it, unless you buy a premium, of course. But I know some people don't like that. Honestly, I really didn't have an interest in getting the premiums. I just wanted to. I only got them to get to experience this plane, and I somewhat regret that now. Somewhat. Not fully. I still think I'm interested in the Israeli tech tree. Definitely. So, it wasn't a waste, but I'm just glad I don't have to play this anymore. I'm glad I don't have to play this anymore. But anyway, there's not really much else for me to say about this aircraft. It's just... ugh. I don't know. Yeah, I can see why this plane in real life was unpopular amongst the pilots. I can see why. Because, yeah, I wouldn't want to fly this as a pilot in real life. But anyway, if you made it this far, and you have a suggestion for what you would like to see me do, feel free to leave it in the comments. If you can also, if you want, leave your opinion on this aircraft in the comments as well if you've gotten to play it. What I understand, most people don't like this aircraft. I can easily see why. Yeah. But, alas, I would like to thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you in the next battle. Peace out. Whoa. I get out of here. Finally. I'm done.